Hey everybody, Mike here, and also Joe, and also Kurt, and also Eric. Say hi
Hi,
everyone at the same time.
Hi,
hi
everyone.
everyone.
And so now it's time to play Super Mario World. Oh, I meant Kaizo Super Mario World. Um, Let me just go fix one thing in my life because I can't hear the game, but that can be remedied easily. So for some reason, I got it into my head that I was going to learn how to Kaizo. Um, and I don't entirely know why that is, but I think it's because I was watching the games done quick the way that you do, and somebody played a Kaizo hack called Super Hark Bros, which is supposed to be like a kind of easy Kaizo hack, and I guess I didn't realize that there were easy Kaizo hacks.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like easy Kaizo hack is
Oxymoron.
oxymoron. Yeah.
So I saw this thing, and I was watching the guy play. And normally, when I watch the Kaizo hacks on games done quick, it's just this weird. I don't have any idea what's happening for like an hour, basically, and it looks impossible and crazy. And I was watching this, and I was like, oh, I could do most of that, I bet, if I practiced. And so I looked it up, and I found like a selection of easier Kaizo hacks and things that are supposed to design to teach you how to play Kaizo hacks. And so I don't know. I just decided to jump in, and I've spent a couple nights now kind of learning stuff and making progress, I guess, and dying a whole bunch. So we're currently in a hack called Learn to Kaizo. Learn to Kaizo.
I thought you couldn't like the whole point. I thought is that it's supposed to be bullshit that you don't see coming. So is there a punchline to this? Like you're learning and then all of a sudden you start jumping into invisible blocks in every stage, or
Well,
what?
I think Kaizo
don't
has
get it.
evolved over the years, right? I think that the original Kaizo ROM hacks were like, haha, every time you think you're going to make it somewhere, an invisible block's going to kill you, or a fish is going to fall out of the sky and hit you.
Right, it's like I want to be the guy, but a Mario hack.
Right, but eventually I think they kind of started tilting more towards just really, really challenging level design and just kind of pushing the system to its limits and making you use all the weird kind of edge casey glitch stuff in Super Mario World.
So is this the stuff that the original implementation of the SA1 for games that weren't designed with it was Vitor started with Super Mario World, and was that for stuff like for this, or is that for something sort of adjacent but similar?
I don't have an answer for you there. I just wanted to show off quickly this. So this hack here in particular is designed to basically give you little micro challenges like this one that show you the stuff that you're going to have to do, like betray everyone's favorite dinosaur by dumping into a pit. And so the way it works is on the world map, each level has got literally one thing that you have to learn how to do. And then once you've done a bunch of them, then they put together a sort of a series and call it the test. So for example, here's one. I don't know, you probably have a bit of a delay because I didn't put the stream on low latency because I didn't want to risk dropping too many frames. And you can let me know if it's looking...
You've been a little choppy as is, so yeah, that's probably a good idea.
You mean tonight?
Yes.
Well, I don't know what the deal with that is.
Not
Anyway,
like not the end of the world choppy, but definitely.
Anyway, so the level that I just did is one that teaches you how to do the pick up a block while you're standing on it trick, which is used in a billion kinds of things. And so then you get to something like this, the test. This is number 2. So far I've cleared 3 of these. This one took me like 20 to 30 minutes of just throwing myself at it over and over and over again. And it combines all sorts of entertaining stuff, including my first ever proper shell jump, which I will now attempt to replicate. Oh, missed it. So this one is really tough because, for me anyway, because there's very little window on all these. Like, you have to chain all the moves together very quickly or else you're going to get out of sync with the kind of moving background stuff. And I found that... so I got the shell jump, and then I hit the muncher. So yeah, it took me, I don't know, like 100, 200 lives over the course of 20 minutes to clear this thing 2 nights ago. And then I picked it up today as kind of a warm-up, and I actually got through it in maybe 15, 20 tries. But of course now I'm streaming, so I'm sure it's going to be more difficult. One thing that's really killed me a number of times is trying to kick the stupid pickup block as opposed to just kind of running into the yellow block with it and dying like a chump. It's surprisingly hard to get the timing on dropping it just long enough to kick it and then keep running without picking it up. Well, you can't pick it up again, I don't think. Anyway. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure exactly how far this is going to go. I've actually been having kind of fun with it. And what I want to do tonight is actually I'm going to try and show off a couple of the learner hacks that I've tried so far, and maybe try and make some progress in one of them.
So before you were the learner, who was the master? And now,
Well, I don't know. The masters, as far as I'm aware, are the people that you see doing speedruns of Kaizo hacks at Games Done Quick, right? So, Grand Pooh Bear is the first one that I saw, and Dode, and
is one of them Hulk Hogan,
God no.
who was the master, and now he is but the learner.
I mean, I don't want to say there are no racists in speedrunning, because that wouldn't be true. But Hulk Hogan, as far as I know,
Goose. Excuse me.
Hulk Hogan, as far as I know, is not a Kaizo ROM hack expert.
I think the racists in the speedrun community are arguably more racist than Hulk Hogan.
Oh, maybe.
Actually, I mean, I don't know that there have been no screen caps I've seen of Hulk Hogan spreading race science with gigantic air quotes, in the way that someone like our White Goose was.
Maybe you just don't go onto the right and or wrong forums. Maybe you just don't know what Hulk Hogan's user handles are.
That's true, brother.
All right, made it over the shell jump, and then I fell off. Anyway, I'm not going to spend too long on this level because I got the shell jump, and that's the important thing. I wanted to show off a couple of the other things that we can look into here. So Learn to Kaizo is very cool and useful. There's another one that is also really good, which is Panga's Kaizo Kindergarten. This one's way more verbose.
Pango Kaiser says it.
Panga, yes. Panga is a ROM hack designer who's made a bunch of these. And Kaizo Kindergarten, literally has a bunch of text in the background explaining, the physics of Mario and how it works. So, there'll be a whole bunch of stuff in the background talking about, what kind of jump can you clear with a spin jump if you're not running.
And then when you get to the last room, it says police state.
I mean, it should.
Only the best of ROM hacks say police state.
Exactly.
I have a few questions I still don't understand, because it says in the ROM hack that you can make a 5-block jump without running, but I don't seem to be able to do that, and I can't tell if that's a mistype or if I'm just messing something up. It seems like it's going to be important later on if I get that wrong. So this one's kind of fun if you, he surfaces a lot of stuff what's Mario's speed at any given time to sort of show how things work. Did you know that if you hold the jump button down, you fall slower? So if you want to make it across these 1-block gaps here, you have to hold the jump button, because in Mario 1 or Mario 3, you can just sprint across gaps and it works, but in Super Mario World, you do better if you hold the jump button. It's true. Also, one thing that I found really interesting was that you don't have a fixed horizontal speed when you're running. Your speed kind of varies between a couple different numbers. Or not, but... So, if I want to drop underneath these spinies, I can't be holding the jump button. If I hold the jump button, you'll see that I get all the way down and I never stop being level with them. But if I let go of the jump button, then I fall just fast enough that if I'm really careful, I can sneak underneath like that. So this one's interesting. I haven't spent that much time with it, but it definitely seems to contain a lot of useful information. Whereas the first one I showed off, it definitely has information. Oh yeah, you get to see, I guess that's Panga's face? I'm not sure who that is. But ROM hacks seem to include a lot of bitmap images of speedrunners' faces for some reason. The other one, Learn to Kaizo, has information in the little music boxes that you can hit, and it pops up a text box, but they're really condensed, and sometimes they don't really make sense to someone who hasn't seen this stuff before. So I've had to look up a few of them on YouTube just to see what does that mean? There's one where you can literally duplicate a block by kind of glitching into it with a shell, and it just makes a new block, and I don't know. I had no idea what that meant until I tried it. So if you don't just want to sit here all day and see people explain stuff to you, then you can do stuff like Baby Kaizo World, which is supposed to be Baby's first Kaizo ROM hack. And I've seen some of the experienced runners talk about this one and be like, oh no, it's too easy, you won't learn anything from it. And then I've seen a bunch of people commenting yeah, it took me 1,000 deaths to get to the end, so, maybe not that easy.
I mean, easy is a relative term when you're speaking in these sorts of...
Absolutely.
Right? This is even to do a shell jump would put you in the upper 1 or
well, let's say 1%
of people. Yeah.
So I mean, I did this level the other day, and it took a little while, but I got it. So I'll run through a little bit of this. And I don't know if you guys have anything you want to talk about. Have you watched any of the really difficult ROM hacks or?
You know, I never. I guess I can see why people get attracted to stuff like this, but it's never really done it for me because it always feels. I think the first exposure I had to this kind of stuff was actually the first exposure I had to ROM hacks were like, you know, like racist Super Mario,
Awesome.
and non-racist, you know,
or like Naked Mario on like the 55-in-1 rental carts that you'd get.
Headless Naked Mario versus the Dick Nazis.
Are they Nazis who are mad about penises, or are they?
They like all Nazis. It's kind of a redundancy because all Nazis are dicks, but you know they're dick Nazis. No,
Is it an adjective or a noun, dick, in that sense?
But like, are they Nazis who persecute dicks, or are they Nazis who are physical dick? Like, are they anthropomorphized dicks?
Mike, I know that you have played. Oh yes. As a matter of fact, I
all
believe
of
they
those
are anthropomorphized dicks.
But who also persecute dicks? How do they reconcile that?
I
Like,
mean,
that's some real
Nazis are
doublespeak.
people who persecute other people, so
And as Depeche Mode has told me,
people are people. Yeah. So why should it be? You and I should get along so awfully.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, but so my first exposure to the idea of ROM hacking was, I think, like, I'm not gonna say everybody else, but everybody else in the age brackets of the people on this stream right now was Nesticle, because Nesticle was not the first NES emulator, but it had a very simple tile editor, which opened the floodgates of ROM hacking.
Wasn't it also like the first good NES emulator? Like,
yeah, I mean,
pretty
that's
compatible,
arguable.
pretty fast.
Yeah, it had almost 100% compatibility, even though some of the games didn't play perfectly correctly, and sometimes the music sounded like absolute fucking garbage. But
we didn't mind.
Well, especially if you hadn't played NES games on a real NES, which, like, at the time, my NES had been sold probably 5 or 6 years earlier, and I wasn't going to get another one for another 2 or 3 years. So, you know, I didn't remember exactly how it should sound, and I didn't remember exactly how every tile should look, so when it was fucked up, I didn't really notice. It's only now, going back and looking at old footage of Nesticle or you know, booting it up, you know, however many years ago, before I realized there were better NES emulators, and being like, wow, this is actually not that good. But one of the big features was it had a tile editor, which is what gave way to just a world of ROM hacks that were, like, I remember I had a Mario, and Mario was like the easiest one for people to do. So there were a million Super Mario ROM hacks that were almost exclusively just visual. I remember I had one that turned Mario.
I thought you were going to say almost
into
exclusively
Crow.
just racist.
Well, there were a lot that were racist. I had one that turned Mario into the Crow.
Okay,
which
of
was
course.
ridiculous.
That sounds like something you'd want, right?
There was definitely one, and I know I talked to Smoke Monster about this on I don't remember if it was on one of our streams or one of his, but he, like, when he curates the ROM packs, which is just a script that organizes your ROMs, he does not include the racist Mario hacks. Like, he's like, those aren't worth preserving or dealing with, so they're just not in the script, so whatever. But there were a lot of them out there. There was one I remember seeing at one point where little Mario and Luigi were like little tiny skinheads, and then when they got a super mushroom, they turned into Klansmen with the full, you know, pointy hood and everything. Which also, I feel like,
I mean, that's got to be more of a joke than like a sincerely
right.
racist.
Well, I was gonna say it made. Well, also some of the enemy edits were pretty bad.
Never mind.
But it felt. I mean, it felt less awful in a world where fascism wasn't making a comeback.
Yeah.
In the way it is now.
Back when Nazis were the bad guys in Indiana Jones movies, as opposed to the ruling class.
Yeah, I mean, right. Before we had a president of the United States who referred to literal white supremacists as very fine people on both sides, quote unquote. So, like, different world where that stuff was, like, still offensive, but not as terrible as it now feels. Also, I'm older and smarter now than I was then, so maybe I was just, you know, I didn't take it seriously at that time, but I guess that's a symptom of the things we were just talking about. Anyways, that was like the first exposure to ROM hacks, I think, for a lot of people was just esticle sprite edits. Like there was a very fairly famous River City Ransom one that turned Cuneo into Wilfred Brimley for some reason. Pour one out for Wilfred Brimley, by the way.
Yeah, it was he
Indeed.
passed very recently, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
I want to say, I mean, I'm pretty sure that my first exposure to ROM hacks was well before the advent of emulators. Like, I think it was really on kind of bootleg cartridges that we could get at our local rental place.
My local rental place dealt in Color
geez.
Dreams games and stuff like stuff that Nintendo didn't really want out there, but no straight up like bootleg ass like Taiwanese multi-carts or anything like that at my local rental shop. So
I want to say in my case,
wasn't
I didn't
playing Mortal Kombat 159 Peoples or whatever the hell it is.
I want to say I don't know that I rented them much, but I remember talking to friends who were like, "Yeah, we rented this one, and they had like 40 different versions of Mario, but in one of them you just couldn't see him. It was called Invisible Mario." Great, sounds fun.
Did you guys know? So this is a little bit of a tangent, but speaking of offensive ROM hacks, did you guys know that there is a bootleg Game Boy Color port of Metal Slug that
Game
is
Boy
draped
Color.
in super offensive 9/11 imagery?
Oh dear. Okay.
Like literally, whoever did this, and this is a very impressive technical feat for the Game Boy Color. Whoever did this, so first of all, porting Metal Slug to the Game Boy Color.
Oh
is
yeah,
super
no, impressive.
fucking impressive in the first place, but
Like-
also there is literal digitized video on this Game Boy Color cartridge. Unfortunately, it is video of a plane hitting the World Trade Center.
Jesus.
But this is a game that exists, so you know. Yeah, so a lot of the multi-cart stuff I felt like was that, but I don't think even now I've encountered a multi-cart that had like, you know, Headless Naked Mario versus the Dig Nazis, or even just regular Naked Mario, because there was definitely one that was naked and gave Mario like a 2-pixel long dick.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which basically it was like they changed Mario's color scheme to just flesh colored for the whole body,
Yeah.
and then added a 2-pixel
pixels.
nub between his legs, and it's like he's naked, and it's like, well, I guess he is, but so you know, and I think my first exposure to a ROM hack like this was Castlevania ROM hacks. That was like a ROM hacking scene. That
What,
was
they needed
very
to make that
vibrant
game
for a
harder?
while. Yeah.
I do have to say that using the Baby Mario, you know, thing so that when you fail, he cries is pretty great.
Well, that's the standard Mario sound. Because the Mario crying.
I'm just looking at the visual of it. I think it's pretty.
Because the Mario crying in like Yoshi's Island is way more annoying than that sound.
Oh yeah, no, I just mean the like I'm dead.
So you will notice that
pretty good.
there are no lives, and that every time I die, I just restart. And I don't think it's enabled in this one, but in Learn to Kaizo, I could even just press both of the shoulder buttons at once to instantly restart the area that I was in. These are like Kaizo niceties that did not originally exist. So if you play like a really original Kaizo hack, like I have the original Kaizo Mario World on here, and that doesn't have these things, which means every time you die, you're booted back to the world map. You have limited lives, like that, which I think makes some of this stuff just really unpleasant to deal with. And I don't think many people are making Kaizo hacks that don't have those kind of player amenities these days, because no one wants to play them.
That just seems like a giant waste of your time.
Yeah.
Like if the point of it is here's the gauntlet to run, then why add an additional loop that was like, haha, you failed 5 times?
Well, it's not that they're adding it; it's more that that's how the game was originally made.
Yeah, but you know,
Uh-oh.
you see where I'm going.
Oh, spin jump! You gotta spin jump the fish.
So, yeah, I mean, I feel like Castlevania and Mega Man were the first 2 games that I encountered where there were level hacks meant to make the game more difficult. And they never felt as well designed as even the hardest, like, legitimate Mario or Mega Man or Castlevania stages. You know, it just seemed like, well, what if we just put a bunch of annoying bullshit in there to make it hard?
Yeah, you definitely can take that approach, but I think the Kaizo hacks that get popular are also extremely clever. Like, the most impressive one I've seen to date, I think, is Grand Poo World 2, which has been played at game's done quick once or twice, I want to say. And that game just features a whole bunch of modifications to the game engine to let you do new things, and like just incredibly clever use of the mechanics that already exist. And I find it really kind of exciting to watch people play through those games, just to see how they manage to maneuver Mario through the different levels, and like stuff that you might not even think is possible at first blush, right? And it's not even necessarily about using like bugs and things that you didn't know about, but sometimes just the combination of movements you can make, you're just like, oh my god, okay, yeah, I guess you could do that. Never occurred to me that I would have to, but
I also feel like there's an aspect of you're kind of jumping in with both. You're hitting the road running, as it were. Like you don't. There's no natural difficulty curve. It just assumes that you're already like a ridiculously good Super Mario World player.
Well, this is the difficulty curve, right? This is me playing the easiest of these hacks possible to try and get a feel for it. I don't entirely know what to do here, though. Have you gotten to the Torpedo Ted section?
No.
That is one of the big challenges too. Sometimes is just to like how you just look at a thing and like how. Oh, okay, that's not too bad actually.
Well, those will spawn where you are, right? So would the idea be to get lower?
No, the idea is just to go fast, actually. So in fact, now that I know what to do, it's actually fairly easy to get across there. I just gotta do a little spin jump and don't hold down the button. And then getting like the timing down on stuff like this. All right.
Like, I guess I feel like, you know, the last stage in Mario 3D World, or the last stage in Odyssey.
Oh,
And when I say the last stage, I mean like the actual, not where you fight Bowser, but the
You mean,
actual
like, the secret
darkest
the
side
hidden
of the
stage?
moon. Right, darkest side of the moon, or World 8 Crown, or whatever it is in 3D World, where it's just like Champion Road. That's what it's called. Where it's just like, okay, you've played through this whole game, you've gotten all the stuff, you've gotten every flagpole and every coin and every this and that, and you've already beaten Bowser, and now you have to use every single skill that you have.
Yep. Gloves are off.
Yeah. And by the end of like Odyssey, like it's like that final stage, it's like it expects you to know things that it doesn't really teach you until very deep in the game to begin with. Like, okay, if you do a jump, if you do like a long your hat, you can throw Cappy, and then you can dive and land on Cappy and bounce into another jump.
I never got that to work one time when I was playing that game.
Oh man.
Also, I don't like Odyssey very much.
I feel like you have to do that to get to beat the Koopa races, the Koopa the Quick, some of the later races against him.
Well, I definitely didn't do all of them. Maybe not. So yeah. This is kind of cool. I will say I played that last level in Mario 3D Land on the 3DS, and I fucking hated it. I thought it was just not fun at all. Whereas I do find these challenges way more engaging and like fun to do. So I don't know. I think it helps that I found some stuff that's more or less at my speed. Like I can see what I have to do, I can figure it out, and with enough tries I can pull it off. Like, you know, completed 3 levels in this one with 95 deaths. So obviously it's rough going, but it's not like I'm spending 4 hours just trying to get to a checkpoint.
Right.
However, if I wanted to spend 4 hours trying to get to a checkpoint,
Which I would not.
well, I'm not sure I
Kurt,
do either.
You should not play Resident Evil 3 on the higher difficulties then.
All right, let's try Super Dram.
I already got that from you describing what you were having to go through.
Yeah.
So here's a Super Dram World named after the Dram the Speedrunner, made by Pangaea Panga, the same person who did the Panga's Kaizo Kindergarten. But this is a serious ROM hack. And one nice thing is that these things very often start with a kill screen at the very beginning, where not only did I get killed by the thwomp, but I also got a time up. And you actually have to solve the little puzzle at the very beginning if you want to even get into the game, which in this case consists of just holding down the jump button so that you fall slower than the thwomp.
So is this, sorry, are these on your, are you...
Oh yeah, I'm doing everything on the Super NT right now.
on your Super NT. So these are not SA1 hacks, then.
Oh, not at all.
Because that would not work.
That's true. I mean, yeah, to get those to work, you would need like an SD2 SNES or something like that.
Or your Mister. Your Mister will do SA1.
The Mister will do it. That's right. All right, so that was a very rough start. So this is a hard hack, and I just kind of want to see, like, can I make it, like, out of the first screen, basically? However, it's a hard hack that does kick you back to the map between lives, which is not wonderful. Oh my god, this is... Okay, so they changed the music in a later update to this one, and I think it's a remix of Do the Mario from the Super Show. All right. I managed to get past the invisible block and the triple bullets. So there's a perfect example of a Kaizo block that's just designed to fuck you over. And if you watch a really good person play these games, you won't even know they're there because they just go around all of them. But whenever there's like a really obvious way to go, they will stick an invisible block there to make it so that you have to do a more difficult jump. So I don't expect to make any significant progress over this, but, you know, maybe I'll throw myself at this one for 5 minutes until I get tired of dying on the same screen. That was just embarrassing, though. So yeah, hardware-wise, I'm playing on the Super NT. I'm actually pretty proud because I made these ROM hacks using my own ROM of Super Mario World. Because
I dumped your actual cartridge and then...
Yeah, I dumped most of my carts, and so I used my own ROM of Super Mario to make these. So this is a 100% legal stream. So don't even try to get in trouble with me, Nintendo lawyers. I'm onto you. Oh, right, I did the same thing again.
Good job.
Thanks, I do my best. And right now I'm actually using a Super Famicom controller. So I bought a Super Famicom when I went to Japan about 11 years ago. And I was a little disappointed when I got back because it didn't work very well. Like it was really fiddly to get the carts to work. Maybe nowadays I'd be able to do a better job of cleaning it up or something to make the contacts work better. I don't know. But I kind of wound up giving up on it because, of course, you can just convert a regular Super Nintendo to play Japanese games. And so I kind of wrote it off for a while. But now I'm starting to realize that it has these two pristine Super Famicom controllers that are in really good shape. And that's actually probably worth more than what I paid for the whole thing back in the day. Because it was, I don't know, like 4,000 yen or maybe a little less than that. And yeah, getting two brand new condition Super Famicom, Super Nintendo controllers is rough. And I know because I have about 5 Super Nintendo controllers, and none of them are nearly in this good shape. Because I used them all over the years. So whoever owned this system must not have played it as heavily as I did.
Yeah, honestly, I got the Super Famicom style controller when I got my Super NT.
How many times are you going to fall for that block? Yes.
Every time.
And I realized that I actually find it better, the North American version better, because the top 2 buttons are concave and the bottom 2 are convex, which makes me feel like I know where my hand is on the controller at all times.
Yeah, I actually agree with you about that after having bought exactly that same controller. And then I bought the revision, which is instead of being Bluetooth, it's the 2.4 gigahertz one from 8-Bit Do. So that I bought in the North American style for that exact reason. And that is a hell of a controller, man. I really think I feel the difference between the Bluetooth one and the 2.4 gigahertz one. I've been playing these on my HD TV using that wireless controller, and it feels super responsive. Like, it's really nice.
Yeah, I got the M30.
Hey, I made it.
Which is
it's a Sega
Genesis controller.
Well, I'm doomed. I didn't make it to the second gap fast enough. I had to keep track of that last bullet. You know what they say, save the last bullet.
Save the last bullet bill for yourself.
Oh, I can still keep going. I still didn't make it on time. I have a feeling this is above my pay grade, so let's go to... So here's Super Hark Bros. This is the one that I watched and sort of thought, like, oh, I could do that. And I started playing it, and I cannot do that. But I could probably make a little bit more progress on this one if I try. Anyway, yeah, that 2.4 gigahertz controller is really, really nice on the Super NT.
Yeah, I just got a Saturn 2.4 gigahertz controller, which is actually really... This is from Retrobit, but it's a Saturn 2.4 gigahertz. And what was nice of them is that they included both a Saturn dongle and a USB dongle.
That's pretty
So
sweet.
I
Yeah, you can use it with the original system.
use it on my original system, and I have a converter for my Super Gun, which converts the Neo Geo pin out to the Saturn pin out.
What are you laughing at?
Nothing.
Dongle.
You have a super gun.
He does have a super gun. It's super. You should.
Yeah, I don't know. We've tried to trace like who originally dubbed those devices a super gun, and it seems like nobody is completely certain. But almost everybody universally agrees that the name is dumb. But now they're called. That's
I
what
don't
they're
know,
called.
man.
Everybody knows what they are.
Sounds
so we
pretty
call them
super to me.
guns.
It sounds pretty sick. That's like the tightest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. I wish I had a super gun.
It's a super gun. It's like, oh, is that a regular gun? No.
No. Oh, I'm sorry. You must be new here.
Yeah, exactly. What are you, fucking dumb? The answer is yes. It's a super gun.
So I had to run up and grab this shell,
It
but
shoots
not,
through schools.
but not kill the. Let's
Oh, I don't
maybe
like
not.
that.
No. Yeah, no.
I like
I'm
that
not
at
into
all.
that, Kurt.
It's an 88 Magnum.
So what I have to do is grab this shell, but not kill the Koopa with it, and then I have to make a very
Bounce off the Koopa to get
Well,
to the bill.
bouncing off the Koopa. I think will make the whole thing easier. You can actually make the jump directly onto the bullet bill, and then you get onto the flying coin block. But that requires having just the exact right momentum.
Doesn't look like the person playing now can do that.
Well, how many shell jumps have you done this
That's
week, Joe?
That's the
Shots fired.
theoretical you, not the royal you. I do enjoy the shell showing up after Mike has fallen in the pit.
Yeah. So this is what happens when I play one that I think like, oh, that looks like I could probably do some work here. And you know, if I stick with it for long enough, I imagine I will. But so close. But I have a feeling that there's probably an even easier level that I need to spend a bit of time with before I get into this stuff. So sorry, Super Hark Bros. All right, it doesn't shoot the bullet if you're standing underneath the cannon. And then if you jump up, you kill the thing. So what I'd actually like to try is Akugare, which I have heard is supposed to be another good choice for your first Kaizo. But I haven't seen this one at all, so we're...
That's one of those like big monsters, right? Kaizo.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Kaizo Mario hacks. Bowser is always like 2 screens tall. A lot of slowdown.
I mean, that's cool. As long as you know it's gonna slow down. You
It's
can,
just
like,
Super Mario World 2.
And the
Yoshi's
and the
Island.
and
It's
the
the
camera
Kaiju
versions
Mario.
of those are more friendly.
They're friends to the children.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Gamera?
He's full of meat.
Welcome to Gamera World. There's usually something at the starting house. A lot of the time they will change the music in these hacks. That's kind of a kindness to people who are learning how to play them, because just hearing the main Mario theme over and over again as you die 100 times is probably going to drive you to distraction. Oh, it can save anytime. That's nice. Blue coins are for spinning. Alright. Let's see. Welcome to Bullet Promenade. That doesn't sound too scary, right? Oh,
It sounds like a Don Potch or Dodon Potch, except
Dodon Patch.
Yeah. Gig Wang,
I love that
Gig
video, but
Wang,
apparently that guy sucks.
Goo Wang,
Is that Gig Wang that you're
Gig
saying?
Wang,
Gig Wang, Goo Wang,
Gig
Gig Wang.
Wang,
Can't
Goo
be,
Wang,
can't be a
everything but-
coincidence.
Can't be a coincidence.
Did like
Dulang,
everybody just
dulang,
have a
dulang.
stroke at like the same time?
Oh, you don't know about Goo Wang?
No, it was you that had it.
Gig
Yeah,
Wang?
it's just like they say, Alex. If everybody around you is an asshole, maybe you're the asshole. If you think everybody around you had a stroke at once, maybe you had a stroke.
I don't know. I just heard 4 people going do wang over and over again.
Uh,
But it's gone.
That
so I
that
guess-
doesn't sound like something that would have happened. I don't know what.
Yeah, no.
Go play Mars Matrix.
Mhm.
Well, I won't.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate that guy
Sucks.
apparently, sucks. Because I always thought that was a bit. I thought the whole thing was a bit. But apparently,
That's his real accent?
maybe not so much.
Well, I don't know. There's not a lot in that video that's too offensive, is there? I guess he's making fun of shooter people for being not good
Well,
enough.
he's making fun of shooter people, which he should, because anybody who takes themselves too seriously deserves to be made fun of. But I feel like I haven't watched it in a while because, you know, turns out that guy kind of sucks. But I feel like there were some, you know, kind of like mid-aughts edgelord comments in there amidst all of the jokes about how you should go play Mars Matrix.
I don't really understand what I'm supposed to be doing here, because it looks like I got to transition from a regular jump to spin jump
not
somehow.
Yeah, you gotta
I
like
feel
spin
like-
jump out of that Spidey, right?
Yeah, but how do I do that when I can't land on the ground?
I don't know.
You
Eric-
land on the falling platform
you
and
spin jump
from
off
the
of the
falling
bullet bill?
platform.
I wonder if because if I spin jump on the bullet bills, they're just going to disappear. They're gonna, you don't bounce off them. Well, actually, no, that's not true. That's not true. Oh yeah,
I
that's
don't
true.
remember. It's been
Are
a
the-
long time.
If you
since
kill
I-
the enemies off a spin jump, you don't bounce high. You just go down, right?
Right,
Um,
right. So wait, are the floating platform and the spiny red herrings, and you're supposed to just like keep going and land on the third bullet bill?
No, because when I do that, I fall short. I can
I
show you
think
what
the
happens with that.
third. I think the floating platform is the
That's your transition point.
red
right?
herring.
Oh
and
yeah,
You're supposed to hit the spiny from there.
but I can't hit the spiny
You
unless
have
I'm in a
to
spin jump.
till hit the spiny, and you can't spin jump off of a normal jump.
So my feeling is that I'm somehow supposed to like a really quick transition, which maybe if you can hit the spiny on the way up in your spin jump without dying, maybe that's how you do it.
So wait, hold on, Mike. I'm starting to see the appeal of this game, by the way. But so if you run, so wait, what if you don't jump on the first bullet bill right
Oh,
away?
you want me to just like wait?
Run jump over to the falling platform
Oh, and then follow the bullets.
and follow the
There you
bullets.
go, Joe. You're a natural.
The two things you have to follow: the money, and the bullets.
And the
And the
bullet
bullets.
bills. The
And
bullet,
we all-
the bullet
in
bills.
In that
style.
order.
Have to follow the money because we all know where it goes, Alex. It goes all the way to the
all the way
top.
to the top. Yeah, that's true. All right. Well, I guess we don't. I guess we don't have to do anything. All right. Let's.
I don't-
we already know exactly.
What I'd like
Not
to.
all.
Until we're dead.
But what am I supposed to do with this diagram I drew?
So
What am
now,
I supposed to do with this map and all this yarn?
Can you just
That's right.
skip that whole middle
Am-
section?
okay,
Mike?
so
Am I
another
supposed to-
spiny will drop down if the first one falls down the hole, which is interesting.
Can you just skip that whole section by bouncing on the bullet bills?
I can bounce 3
It
times,
looked
but
like
it's
he
not
did
enough to
that
get
a
me. It's
minute
not enough to
ago.
get me where I need to go, right? So I bounce. Oops, no. I've managed that before, but you kind of fall down a gap a little farther down. So like here, if I do that, it looks like I could maybe get into that pipe, but the pipe doesn't go anywhere, or else I'm messing up the pipe entry, which is not impossible. What I would like to do is let the bullet bills go, and then we'll see if I can make it over to the spiny. All right, so the spiny's gonna fall. That's fine. There are more spinies where they came from. They are expendable. But now I don't have bullets. So I guess that's gonna be it, but I have to figure out what the timing is to do that and have the bullets also be there. So yeah, I'm glad that you're kind of starting to understand why people like these things, Joe.
I still don't know that if I was the one playing that I would stick with it for very long.
Well, this one is maybe still a grade or two too hard for me at this point, but I need to get another set of bullets. Maybe some bullets with butterfly wings.
Dun, 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 dun.
Sorry, most of my brain is occupied by Mario, so I don't have a lot left for good commentary.
Is that what we're shooting for here? Because that's not really on brand.
Why didn't you guys tell me?
Yeah. Done that. So.
All right, fall, spiny, fall. I don't
Are
like
we
you.
creating a new YouTube channel? Is that what you're telling me?
All right.
This is on the stick. This is the good one.
On the stick, after lame.
The good on the stick.
On the stick, but for real this time.
Yeah.
Off the stick.
All right.
We're finally off the stick.
So if those bullets go, let's say that I just run from here. Oh, that's a hello. That actually wouldn't have been too bad if I'd remembered to spin jump. So 41 deaths, and we haven't made it to the third screen yet.
Good.
The third screen is overrated.
That's when it gets hard.
So it's possible that all 3 of those bullet bills.
So you do enjoy these kinds of things.
How come there's no bullets? Why no bullets?
You're standing right. You got to move away from the cannon a little bit, right?
Well, I was running. I started running.
Oh.
No more bullets.
Hey, laughing boy, 1 bullet left.
I know.
It'd be fun to crack this particular little puzzle before I
Pretty
give up and go
sneaky,
back to the easy
sis.
stuff, but... Okay. Boom. Alright. Oh, I got hit by the pipe. Need to do a short hop there. We're making progress, folks. Cracking the code. Oh, didn't spin jump. Little short spin jump, and then boom, boom, boom. You take out all 3 of the bullets in a row.
Sorry, could you say that? What sound effect was that again?
Boom, boom, boom.
Okay. That's just a second.
Which should not be confused with bum bum bum.
True.
Oh, okay.
Should.
Last one,
Should-
you have to jump high off of. If I can pull that off, we'll actually make it to solid ground again.
And then immediately get eaten by a shark.
I mean, I don't know. Could be.
It might be a moon shark.
And who?
Nerd. Yeah.
Seriously, could be.
Nerds.
Alex stole the cookies from the cookie jar.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, fuck. Those are my cookies.
So I feel like that's like a childhood rhyme game thing, but actually when I was like starting like learning acting stuff and especially improv, like that is a thing that you do a lot to like get faster thinking on your feet and not
Are you like really hamming it up?
Well, not really hamming it up.
Alex stole the cookie. Why? Oh, when I was a child living in Germany, my parents always told me, "Kinder, you must take the cookies from the American Schweinhund."
Was that Alex? Did Alex just turn into a Nazi? Like, what happened?
wow, wait a minute. Are all Germans are Nazis now?
Yeah,
That's
jeez.
there's more American Nazis than there are German Nazis at this point, I think.
I think that is true.
Well, there's more Americans, period. I mean, we have a bigger population, so I think it
well, like,
really should be
for-
taken as like portion of a 10,000.
So what's our
10,000.
Nazis per capita?
So,
You know, when you gotta break things down by Nazis per capita, you fucked up.
I didn't fuck up. I didn't create this situation, Mike.
I'm pretty sure that no matter what metric you use, my statement is still true.
You're probably right.
Like by volume per capita, like yeah. Anyway,
It was not necessarily the speaking in a German accent. It was the American Schweinhund comment in particular. That
Do you
led
have
me
to be a
think
Nazi to hate
that's it.
Americans? Just asking for a friend.
I'm American and I
This
hate
is what
Americans.
Castlevania has taught me. Castlevania. Castle Wolfenstein.
What? I was gonna say.
Castle
that's
Wolf.
why
I mean, Castlevania has also taught me that.
There's
for
some
different reasons.
There's some undead German World War I skeletons
and
in
Blood-
Castlevania
and,
Bloodlines. Yeah.
it all
So.
ties together. Wait, I need to get that yarn and board and stuff back. Hold
Joke's
on.
on you, though. That guy's actually like a total American fetishist. He's got like a big collection of baseball memorabilia, his coffin.
But only for. No, I'm not going there.
He died from eating too many hot dogs.
What the fuck were we talking about before? Oh, the cookie jar thing.
Something less
Yeah.
important.
Right. Yeah. So the cookies.
Oh!
from the cookie jar
Whoa,
was,
I did it.
Was thinking on your feet.
I think that was an accident, but I did it. Speaking of thinking on your feet,
Take credit, Mike. Take credit.
if I had wanted to complete this level, I would have had to continue moving and jump on the Paragoomba that was falling down. And that's why these things are hard, is because you don't just do one series of really terrible things. You then have to chain it immediately into another one.
I think there are definitely other games where you get that feeling of like, I did it, I cleared the thing that I've been trying to clear, and then you immediately walk face first into a brick wall, and you're like, oh, well, shit.
Yeah. That thing that I showed you at the beginning with the little castle with the shell jump, that one was one of those for sure. Like, every time I get one step farther in the chain, I just completely whiff whatever is coming afterwards. Except that one time where I had the Dark Souls thing, where like really early on, I got like 3/4 of the way through. And then I was like, wow, I'm a genius. And then, of course, I couldn't do it again for
Easy, and
20
then it
minutes.
takes you like 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to do it a second time.
Actually, no, Alex, playing this kind of games really does make me think of Dark Souls, because Dark Souls has actually changed the way that I view video games.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
In that I actually like really appreciate games that push back now. I think there was like a
Absolutely.
10-year period where games just held your hand kind of all the time.
still happening all the time everywhere.
There's a lot of games that have taken cues from Dark Souls and are difficult
There
now.
are,
I mean,
but like in general, games still do that.
yes,
That's because nobody finishes video games.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's
All those-
there's a staggering number.
I'm not even saying the game shouldn't do that necessarily. I'm just saying like most games still do that.
right.
I mean, most major releases, the AAA
Yeah.
retail
Yeah.
games.
That's
Actually,
kind of what I meant.
Probably most games, like if you're just talking the majority of games, are probably like fuck awful, unfinishable garbage that gets dumped onto Steam that probably doesn't hold your hand in a meaningful way. But
Eric, we're
also
not talking
not
Nazis per
relevant.
capita, okay?
Also,
We're-
is not worth finishing either.
That time I tried to jump on the Goomba, so that's improvement. I
I
intend.
really like the bullet bill steps. I really like that.
We go like bump, bump, bump.
Yep.
I don't know if you're
I mean, I
supposed
don't know, Mike. I feel like you were
Yep.
one of the first people I remember being into a lot of those early Masocore platformers.
Hmm?
Yeah,
I
we did
don't.
a lot of.
I don't think I was. Like, I didn't play Super Meat Boy when that game.
I
You
did. That
played
game was good.
VVV though, quite
Game was good.
more than I think maybe the rest of us did, if I recall.
I mean, I'm gonna say that
I-
the game's not hard.
I
That's a
was the
problem.
one that turned you guys all onto VVVVV.
That is true.
Or at least I was the
Sure.
one that turned everyone
left
on
one
to
V
Terry
behind.
Kavanaugh in general.
You have to go VVVVV.
You missed a V in there too.
Definitely not gonna do that.
No, I'm not gonna do that either.
That is exactly the right number of V's. I've had plenty of time to think about this.
Okay.
It's been 10 years.
VVV.
I mean, yeah, I did. I
That's
enjoyed that
correct.
game.
That
That
is
game
correct.
is, but that game is like 2 hours long. Even the first time through you play it, right? It doesn't take that much concentration.
Yeah, you
get
get
through.
there's that one really hard
There's-
part in that
There's
game.
the one really hard part, and I did do
You
that
go up the
eventually.
spiked column and then come back down.
Yeah,
That's
Vini Vidi
Yeah.
Vici.
They're in back again.
But it was, I think, when I played Dark Souls, I was like, oh yeah, it's nice to earn stuff sometimes, and also around that time, I don't remember. I
So
think
have you come around to realizing that Castlevania 3 is actually really good?
no, that game just sucks. It's just not fun to
We're
play.
almost there, Mike.
Yeah, you
We're
almost got there. Rhino Nar, by the way, wants to know: is this Super Mario Maker? No, these are ROM hacks.
That's right.
These are Kaizo Mario ROM hacks.
I have done this part so many times that I've actually forgotten how you start it.
Mike, you applied these to your own dumped ROM. So did these come from romhacking.net? Is that where one can find these? If
I
Rhino
believe
Nar
it was
is so
SMW Central. I want to say there's a. I mean, you can get them from romhacking.net, but I believe that there's a whole bunch of Mario hacks at.
SMW Central is your primary Super Mario World hacking resource.
Yeah, they have like 1,200 of them or something like that.
First of all, very presumptuous of you and my Super Mario hacking resource. Second of all,
Oh, I almost made it that time. To the part that I've died at twice before. Should I move on to a different game here?
Boy, SMW Central looks like it has not been updated since about 1999.
That's a real 2002 website, yeah. We're gonna try Invictus. This is supposed to be like slightly sub Kaizo, if I understand correctly. I think this is what you call. This is gonna sound awful, but this is what you call a chocolate ROM hack, and that means that it adds a bunch of mechanics and stuff that are not in the original game. Well, that's a real Kaizo beginning, so maybe this is a Kaizo
Chomit,
game.
like the anime by Clamp, that like it's about the girl robot.
Yes,
I guess that's Chobot.
Jessica Chobot. Yes, it's
Okay.
made by Jessica Chobot. So yeah, we'll see. This one is supposed to be sub Kaizo difficulty. Haven't really given it a shot yet. I think it's still pretty hard. Let's see what they say at the house here. Welcome to the tutorial.
I
Oh,
linked in the chat to where you can find the supermario.central.net
Yeah.
page where you can find these patches, and then you can apply them to your legally dumped and official Super Mario World ROM,
just like Mike.
just like Mike did.
Yeah, so the ones that I've found the most helpful so far are Learn to Kaizo and Panga's Kaizo Kindergarten. And personally, I have been enjoying the, what's it called? Baby Kaizo World, even though the hardcore guys all say that it's too easy to teach you anything. I don't agree. I think that if you're like me and you're just relatively good at Super Mario World, that's definitely going to be the next step up. All green shells allowed. I really appreciate.
Two style instant death blocks are kind of bullshit.
Well, so the fact is they just don't want you to be able to touch blocks, and they used to just use the Muncher sprite, because you can't touch that from any side. But it just looks really dumb, so I think eventually someone came up with the Kaizo skull and just decided that's what it's going to be. Sprites will bounce on dotted note blocks. Green arrow blocks will launch Mario. Okay. Sounds cool, I guess. Boing. Oh, only once, apparently.
Like, if you're creating a whole new set of mechanics, I guess this is one of those things where I'm kind of like, why make it?
Well, it's a lot less work to modify Mario.
Because it's less work.
Well, because it's also still like 95% Mario by volume. It's just, a couple new things. Like a green shell that you can bounce on twice before it stops. It's still almost the same as Mario. It's like one thing that's been modified. Plus, people, I think, farm out to different people. I have a really hard time getting into that pipe. This is the tutorial.
I can tell.
There we go. Just don't be afraid of the edge of the screen. Star blocks will bounce throw blocks perpetually. Okay. Not like that, they won't. Nope. I got a lot to learn about these throw blocks. Great. How do you make the throw block go? Okay. Oop, there you go. Okay. Can I stand on the star block? No. Apparently stars kill you in this game.
Yeah, stars are pretty hot.
That's right.
Thank you. I didn't realize you had a degree in astrophysics.
Wow.
Well, Alex is he's a healthcare professional, so he knows that you should not touch stars because they're super hot. That's.
What if your nemesis?
A lot of people going to the hospital.
Hey Joe, what if your nemesis? Then all you want to do is touch stars.
First degree star burns. Yeah.
Yes, but in that case, stars are not consenting, so you should not touch them if you're nemesis.
This jump seems a little
better than a first degree Ed Burns. Am I right, guys?
Oh
Man.
I don't know what's going on.
Who's Ed Burns?
He's an actor.
Fuck
And a
off,
director.
dude.
Oh, yeah, okay,
Fuck
okay, I
off.
remember
Oh my
that.
god.
I just haven't thought of that dude in like years.
Neither is the rest of Hollywood.
Yeah, right. The rest is Alex part of Hollywood.
He is.
Yeah.
part of the
He plays,
system.
he plays a nurse on TV.
I thought he was a nurse.
Yeah.
He doesn't play one on TV.
No,
Can I
you would
spin
think
jump
that,
on
but
these
that's
stupid
not
star
true.
blocks? Nope. This is annoying.
I agree. This conversation is annoying.
Should I have
And
said
he's
Now-
George?
not even here.
Now we're on brand.
Should I have said George Burns instead?
That would have been good.
Oh, that's not it.
Ed Burns? Fuck the Civil War, man.
And you're just freaking slow panning.
And baseball.
I mean,
Oh,
fuck
all right,
baseball.
there
I
you
mean,
go.
Ed Burns apparently still gets fairly regular work, so somebody still
I
cares.
just feel like I haven't seen him in like anything. He was in like every movie that was made for like 10 years. And then he just disappeared.
Dear Esmeralda, in the Kaizo Wars this year.
Alright. Whoa! Upside down block goes the wrong way. Okay. So, the only way to make this initial jump out of the pipe is to hold down jump, but not forward. If you hold down forward, it slows you down if you're going faster than your kind of regular speed, and you need to hold down jump so that you can float long enough to get over the muncher. Which, as you can see, they still use munchers when it's kind of thematically appropriate to do so.
I wonder if it was the terrible Sound of Thunder adaptation that he was in that led to his undoing.
Sound of Thunder.
Why are we still talking about Ed Burns?
Yeah, I agree.
Oops.
You know what?
Because Joe is
You're
obviously a
anti-
closet Brothers McMullen fan.
Clearly.
I mean, I'm kind of a Closet Brothers McMullen fan because the soundtrack's by Seamus Egan.
There you go.
Oh well, obviously. I mean,
Oh,
we all knew that.
Seamus? Oh man.
That guy. Am I right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
of Irish-American supergroup Solus. Oh, jeez. Okay, I thought the block
Are
was...
all members Irish American, or is it that group is part Irishman and part
It's
American?
entirely
the
possible.
latter.
The only movie I've ever seen that guy in is
Brothers McMullen.
Saving Private Ryan.
Doing Private Ryan. I remember Confidence being okay.
I don't know if I recognize any of these other movies.
Well,
You
A Sound of
sons of
Thunder
bitches, now I gotta
is
go
the
look.
adaptation of the right. A Sound of Thunder is the adaptation of the Ray Bradbury story, which established the butterfly effect, which is where people go back in time to hunt dinosaurs, but they like keep
Sure.
fucking things up and making the world they come back to worse.
Also,
Well, why were they
very
hunting the
fine
dinosaurs? Were
Simpsons
the
Treehouse of Horror episode.
like were the dinosaurs causing them a lot of problems?
Yeah,
'Cause I gotta say, dinosaurs haven't bothered me like once in my life.
you're lucky.
No,
man.
no, they hunt them because they're like safari hunt. Okay, here, I'll give you the plot synopsis from IMDb.
Please do.
Chicago, 2055. Charles Hatton has made a fortune by founding Time Safari, which offers rich big game hunters short time travels to kill off dinosaurs just before their natural death.
Ah, I
When
see.
scientist Travis Ryer notices the weather and wildlife are not behaving as usual, he consults Dr. Sonia Rand, the contractually invisible inventor of the supercomputer which controls time. They
Uh-huh.
simulate
That
time
tracks. What?
waves, each worsening the effects in 2055 of evolutionary distortions, lower life forms first. They attempt to identify and rectify the past alteration, but each attempt gets harder in their distorted presence.
But how would you know?
You know,
like,
I suddenly realized that what we're doing here, listening to synopses of Ed Burns movies and watching Mike play Kaizo things,
Uh-huh.
yes.
I just want to say I'm really excited to be part of Frog Fractions 3.
How do you like my
Figure it
cap?
out, folks.
It's
No,
pretty
well,
iconic.
so here's first of all, Frog Fractions 2 is the ARG. Frog Fractions 3 is Glittermint Grove. Frog Fractions
Fractions
4 and
4.
5 is the DLC for Frog Fractions 2 that was just released on Steam. So this is Frog Fractions 6.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, see, Frog Fractions 6 is pretending that this is Frog Fractions 3,
Uh-huh.
and this is actually Frog Fractions 7.
So this is hard, but I'm kind of digging it so far.
So, by the way,
That's
this
what she
movie-
said.
This movie made a total domestic gross of $1.9 million on an $80 million budget.
Wait, how much out of what?
It made back 4% of its budget.
Yeah,
Wow.
in fact, 4% of its budget.
Wow.
So this is,
Or a
What
little
a,
less.
I wanna
what a
say-
fucking classic stream this is. Holy shit.
Yeah, if memory serves, it was also like finished in like 2002, but not released until 2005.
It's always
Wait.
a positive.
Finished in 2002. I never even heard of this movie. I thought this was like some like Bradbury sci-fi movie from like the 50s or something that I'd never seen. Not from the
Ed
like
Burns
50s.
is in it, Mike. He wasn't even born yet in the 50s.
I just keep mixing
Well,
him up with
yeah,
Ed
we fucking
Wood.
not paying attention to the rest of the things that we've been talking about this whole
It's because I
time.
keep mixing him up with Ed Wood, who is also director.
Yes, he was.
And now I want Ed Wood's The Brothers McMullen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Uh, oh man, I'm the only one who has an excuse for being this messed up right now. Okay. This is kind of cool.
Made by the same director as Time Cop.
Oh, why didn't you say
What?
so?
Yeah,
Oh.
Peter Hyde, same director as Time Cop. So.
Oh, right,
What?
yeah. Well, does that mean that this will now be our most viewed stream?
Yeah.
There's no throat chops.
People are starved for time cop content.
Apparently, evidently.
Including John Club.
Ah. I almost
Yeah.
know what to do there. Yep. All right. That's good. You should try this one, Joe. Invictus.
Mike, I don't know how you're. What the fuck is going on here?
On the screen or somewhere else?
A little bit from column A, a little bit from column B. It looks like you are simultaneously streaming under the Action Cast Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, he
banner.
is. I didn't say anything because I didn't. But. It's
Oh, that was when it was complaining about the stream
Trying.
key, and I thought that if I regenerated it would fix that problem, but I guess not. So what does that mean? Is there a separate channel for that?
No, it's in this, it's they're both streaming from our same channel. I'm logging in right now.
Well, it's a good thing that we spent all that time talking about movies, including Time Cop.
Well, you're also streaming under like you're doing both, which is the thing that's really fucking with me.
So does it say that On the Stick is live twice?
Yes.
Mhm.
That's exactly what it says.
Wow, I'm really good at this.
We're on both sticks.
It's hard to know whether I'm better at Mario or streaming.
It is hard to
Not
know.
both.
Okay, I am going to.
Mm-hmm.
Hold up.
I'm here to tell you, Joe, it probably doesn't matter at this point.
Yeah,
We've
Hold
been
on to
going
your
for almost
butts.
an hour, I want to say.
I was gonna say I might try to end one of them, but I don't know. What's
Don't
gonna
bother.
happen.
Just let it go. It's fine.
delete it when it's over.
It's not hurting anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get rid of it when it's over.
It'd be really nice if I could at least make it to that next jump that I haven't gotten to so far. What time is it?
It's
It's
right at
11:04
the
on your side.
11:04.
Bum, bum, bum,
It's
bum.
time to talk about Ed Burns some more.
Did you know that? I don't know.
Or Robbie Burns.
Robbie
You mean
Burns'
the
latest
you mean the
film,
Scottish
by the
poet
way.
Robert Burns?
Yeah.
Okay. The best laid plans of mice and men oft gang gley.
There you go. Nice.
Ed Burns directed, wrote, and starred in a film that came out last year.
I could do more, Kurt. I know an entire song that's based on Robert Burns' poetry. My heart was once as blithe and free as summer days were long, but the bonny whistling weaver lad has got me change my song. To the weavers gin ye go, fair maids, to the weavers gin ye go. I'll read you right, gang out at night. To the weavers gin ye go. Oh. Apparently to the end of this level, gin
Is where you go. Yeah.
Oh, damn it. Damn it. Damn it. I think I found about 17 different ways to die on this one screen. It's kind of like one of those Flash games.
Mm-hmm. Is it
Ah.
called 17 Ways to Die?
On the first screen of Invictus.
There's a million ways to die. Choose one.
I feel like I should have an achievement or something at this point. Okay, I hit the block.
Achievements are for babies. This is the real shit. Mario.
Babies.
It is such a Dark Souls thing, though, where there's this weird like ebb and flow in how good you are at any given time. You make a big breakthrough, and then you'll spend the next 10 minutes just like not even getting 20% as far as you did before.
Like 2 a.m. extra life
Extra life
content.
levels.
Yeah.
Well, we can wrap it up. if
Can you guys think
have,
of any good cloaca puns?
We use them all up.
Yeah,
We
really
mined the shit out of
That
that.
wasn't even on a stream or anything. That was just us playing Divinity.
You guys remember when I said low Drake Doff out loud?
Just now, or at a different time?
That's
That's my finest moment.
Yeah,
I thought
I'd
that
like to have
top
peaks
10
in there.
top temptation was your finest moment.
Uh-oh, big boy. Where you
I
at?
can't tell if that block is appearing when the platform swings me through that space as a glitch. Like, am I not supposed to be there, or is it the game not working quite the way it's supposed to? Because sometimes I can go through the empty space just fine, other times the block appears and kills me.
Schrodinger's hidden block.
I like the music anyway. Kind of fun to hear people making new Super Nintendo music.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do we have any final thoughts on ROM hacks or Mario or hard games or Time Cop?
Time Cop's great.
When will we get the sequel to Headless Naked Mario versus the Dig Nazis that we deserve?
Well, I mean, Joe, now that Mario Maker's out, I think kind of anyone can get in this game, right?
Anyone can make Headless
Nicholas
Naked Mario.
or whatever you just said.
Can we make one where he's versus the Nazis? I mean, I think that's what we
That's
need.
what I see. That is Headless
Okay.
Naked Mario versus the Dig Nazis.
Oh, okay. Well, the true hero that we've...
He's headless. Okay.
Yeah.
I heard dickless, so that's
What?
No,
what I
Dick
said.
Nazis.
I got it.
Headless Mario, Dickless, Dick Nazis, not Dickless. All Nazis are Dickless.
Oh, I get it.
Ugh. Come on, come on. Just want to get that block. Thank you. Alright, well, I don't know. I mean, if you guys are done, then maybe I'll sign us off for now.
Yep.
Uh,
well,
This has been Mike throwing himself endlessly into the hole of Super Mario Kaizo hacks.
Whoa. Whoa.
Wait,
It's been one of those nights, folks.
Whoa.
I think
I've
we're
been
gonna
watching the stream. I've been playing games. What have you been doing this whole time?
just
We're
exactly
actually
what you see
streaming,
on the screen right
On
now.
like
Girl now.
OnlyFans or like
Yeah,
I thought we were streaming on YouTube.
Yeah.
No.
All right, I'm
No,
gonna
I
go
set us
before
up
this
the
gets any
Pornhub
worse.
streaming account, Alex.
All right. Okay. Bye.
Bye.